Have you ever noticed that it feels like everyone's an expert these days? Seriously. In this world of self-proclaimed gurus and overnight specialists, finding someone with real, proven expertise can feel, well, it can feel like looking for a needle in a haystack. So today, let's dive into this and figure out how to cut right through all that noise.
And this is especially true when it comes to something complex like tech. You know the feeling. You need to hire someone, you start looking at profiles, and you're just drowning in a sea of buzzwords and empty promises. You need results, but how do you actually know who can deliver? Who's the real deal?
Well, instead of just talking about it in theory, we're going to do something way more practical. We are going to take apart a real-world profile of a highly rated tech pro, and from that, we're going to build a framework you can use to spot the hidden signals of true expertise for yourself.
So yeah, we're basically going to treat this like a case study. We're breaking down a top-tier profile into its key parts to see what makes it so convincing, and more importantly, what makes it so trustworthy.
Our framework for this is actually pretty simple, but it's super powerful. We're going to look at three main pillars. First, there's the story. You know where they came from. Second, the skills, what they can actually do. And third, and this one is arguably the most important, the proof, that undeniable evidence from clients that tells you everything you really need to know.
So let's kick things off with the story. Because a real expert's background, it often reveals this really unique perspective and a whole set of transferable skills that you would never see on a standard resume. It tells you how they think, not just what they know.
Okay, so our case study today is a tech expert named Vanessa Zamora. Now look at this career path. This is what's so interesting. It is not a straight line at all. She was a surgical tech, an office admin for pediatric disability development. She even worked in insurance sales. Think about what those jobs require. Precision, process, empathy, and clear communication under pressure. Those are all incredible assets for a tech strategist.
I mean, just think about that for a second. A surgical tech background. That hints at an almost obsessive attention to detail and the ability to execute flawless processes when the stakes are incredibly high. That's a powerful story that absolutely informs her technical skills today. But, you know, the story is only the beginning.
Right, so a compelling story is one thing, but it has to be backed up by skills and actual results. So now let's get to the most critical part of this whole thing, the proof. What are clients really saying? This right here is the ultimate litmus test of an expert's true abilities. The very first signal is just pure volume and consistency. In this case, we've got 22 reviews, and every single one is 5 stars. That's not an accident. That is a clear pattern of excellence. But we have to dig deeper and see what those reviews actually say. Let's start with Matthew Watts. He gets straight to the point. There are so many people that claim to be experts, but Vanessa is the real deal. I mean, that directly tackles the exact problem we're talking about. Then you have Maria Martinez, who calls her a ninja and says she loves what she does. That combination of really high skill and genuine passion, that's a theme you see over and over again with true experts. And the praise just keeps getting stronger. Weston Woswacha keeps it simple but so powerful. Vanessa is a genius. You just don't get testimonials like that for just, completing tasks on time. This points to someone who delivers game-changing results. And finally, Honey Shear just captures the vibe across all the reviews perfectly. If I could give Vanessa Zamora 100 stars, I would. When you see this level of just overwhelming, enthusiastic positivity, it is a massive green flag.
But listen, praise alone, even amazing praise, isn't quite enough. So here's the crucial next step. You have to look past the glowing words and start to identify the patterns in the specific problems this person is solving for their clients time and time again.
And this slide just illustrates that perfectly. Look at the problems on the left. Tech confusion, broken systems, cleaning up messes from a previous hire, strategic uncertainty. And then on the right, you see the solutions. She makes complicated stuff feel easy, she fixes what's broken, and, this is so important, she provides honest, strategic guidance. She tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That is a huge, huge differentiator.
All of this evidence really points to a critical distinction that you have to make when you're hiring. Are you looking for a technician or are you looking for a strategist? See, a technician is an order taker. They'll build exactly what you ask them to build. But a strategist understands your ultimate goal, and they will build the solution you actually need to get there.
And this quote from Honey Shear, again, it just nails it. It perfectly summarizes this whole idea. Thinks like a strategist, builds like a systems expert, and supports you like a teammate. That right there is the trifecta of a top-tier, world-class expert. Okay, So let's pull all of this together now into a really clear, actionable framework that you can take with you and use the next time you're out there searching for an expert to help you solve the problem. So here are the key signals to look for. A unique story that informs their skills. A mix of both tech chops and strategic insight. Overwhelming, and this is key, specific client praise. Proof that they solve real business problems, not just check-off tasks. And finally, a commitment to telling you the truth. This is your checklist. And here's another way to think about it, a simple comparison. Fake experts make these surface-level claims, right? I know the software. A real expert gives evidence of a much deeper understanding. I understand your customer journey. A fake expert says, I'll build whatever you ask. A real expert says, hang on, let me recommend the best strategy. It's the difference between just talking about qualifications and actually demonstrating real-world results.
And this is all just perfectly summed up by Vanessa's own motto on her profile. Without lead flow, there's no cash flow. This tells you everything you need to know. Her focus isn't on the tech itself, it's on the business result that the tech is supposed to create. Now that is the mindset of a true partner.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you're ready to bring someone on to solve a critical problem, just take a moment and look for these signals. Ask yourself, are you just hiring a technician to follow orders, or are you ready to invest in a strategist who's actually going to help you win?